We are especially grateful and thankful for VOF for considering us, thinking about us, checking us out to make sure that we are who we say that we are.
Thank you.
Thank you. And at this time, I would like to introduce the Virginia Secretary of Natural Resources, Mr. Matt Strickler.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here for today's exciting and historic announcement about forever preserving and honoring the Tucker Family Cemetery, and for allowing me to join you in reflecting upon this hallowed ground. I'd like to offer special thanks to the Tucker family, the William Tucker 1824 Society, the Aberdeen Gardens Civic Association, the Virginia Outdoors Foundation, and the City of Hampton, and all the other people today who spent their time and money making this a reality. I'm so proud to work for a governor who has such deep conviction to protecting Virginia's historic and cultural resources, particularly those that can promote better visibility and understanding of Black history as an integral part to all of our history in the Commonwealth. The governor and I are looking to 2019 as an even greater opportunity to help tell this story, and are working hard to ensure that Fort Monroe is at the center of those efforts. There's a lot more I could say about this, but I'm only here to do an introduction today. So without further ado, it's my privilege to introduce you to the 73rd Governor of Virginia, His Excellency, Ralph Northam.
Please sit down. Good morning. What a beautiful day God has given us. And wow, it's just an honor for me to be with you all this morning. Secretary Strickler, thank you very much for your service to the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you very much for your kind and brief introduction. You all are learning. This is good. I know that your treasurer of Hampton has been recognized, Molly Ward, who was once a mayor of the city of Hampton and then also served as Secretary of Natural Resources. So Molly, it is always great to see you, and thank you for your service. And I know we have a lot of elected officials here this morning, and I just want to take the opportunity to thank all of you for what you do as we are learning day by day. These elections have tremendous consequences, and it is not the easiest time to be an elected official, but I believe that it is the most important time. So for all of you that serve others, we thank you. And I want to give a special shout out to one of my friends and one of your own, Delegate Sia Price. And I don't know if you all remember, it wasn't that long ago, and we have a lot of elections here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, but when we ran in 2017, Sia Price was the chairwoman of my campaign, and I would not be standing here right now if it wasn't for Sia. So Sia, thank you for your friendship, and I don't know if I'm causing this to squeal. Maybe it's you that's causing it to squeal. But thank you for your leadership and all of your service to the Commonwealth. Usually when things start squealing, Felicia, it means to be quick. But I did want to share a couple of thoughts with you all this morning. I'm just so glad to be here with you on this beautiful morning at such an historic site. A cemetery named after the first documented child of African descent born in English-speaking North America. William Tucker's parents, Anthony and Isabel, were brought to Old Point Comfort in 1619 as slaves. William was baptized in 1624. He is believed to be buried in this very cemetery. Our family histories are not always found in books, so cemeteries can be a way for us to retrace our history. The history behind William Tucker's presence here is shameful, and the long neglect of this and other African American cemeteries is a shameful thing as well. You know, history tends to repeat itself, and we must learn from our past history and not repeat times when there were inequities because of the color of one's skin, the religion that they practice, or the country that they come from. The efforts to restore this cemetery and find and mark the graves of the people buried here are a testament to the power of family and community. As we often say, it takes a village. The Commonwealth is committed to righting the wrong when it comes to our long abandoned African American cemeteries, which fell victim to generations of institutional discrimination and injustice. Today, we are celebrating a $100,000 grant for the Tucker Family Cemetery that will permanently protect the cemetery as publicly accessible open space and provide funding to help with long-term care of the cemetery. In addition to this grant, the Virginia Outdoor Foundation has pledged $400,000 for Evergreen and East End cemeteries in Richmond, and worked with Delegate Dolores McQuinn and Governor McCullough in 2017 to introduce and pass a law that will provide tens of thousands of additional dollars annually for grave maintenance. The Commonwealth's investment in Tucker and other historic African American cemeteries represent a new day for our shared history as Virginians and Americans. I thank the BOF for its commitment to this. And I want to thank the people, especially the William Tucker 1624 Society, who have given of their time and energy to restore and reclaim this cemetery, cleaning up overgrowth, fixing damaged markers, uncovering graves, and documenting their work with the hope of long-term permanent restoration and care of the cemetery. Last year, as has already been mentioned, ground-penetrating radar here found 105 previously unknown and unmarked graves. While we may never know the stories of each human being buried in those graves, we can acknowledge that they were here on this earth and they were laid to rest here. We're able to honor them, and I hope we can continue to do that kind of work on other neglected African American cemeteries. Thank you all so much for the privilege of serving as your 73rd governor. I will never forget my roots, where I have come from, and as I said earlier, I would not be here today if not for the hard work of folks in this audience. And so along with Marcia Price and all of the other elected officials and folks that help out along the way, we are going to move forward. We're going to do what's in the best interest of the Commonwealth of Virginia and make this wonderful state a place where people will want to work and raise their families and enjoy our wonderful way of life. And the last thing, and I have already mentioned this, but I want to reiterate it before I take my seat. One of the most important things to me as your governor is to realize and to make other people realize that we live in a very diverse society, and it's becoming more diverse every day, and it is the diversity of our society that makes us who we are in Virginia and this great country of ours, and we must never forget that. So that means that we need to be inclusive. We need to welcome people to this country. We need to welcome people to the Commonwealth of Virginia. Our doors will always be open and our lights will always be on. So thank you for the opportunity to be here today. What a beautiful day this is. It's always good to be back in Hampton, back in, as I say, back in 757. So everybody have a great weekend. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. And if we can now have the governor as well as Vincent Tucker, our representatives,